All right, welcome back to TechniqueWOD. Today, Mike's gonna show you how to get bulging biceps, softball shoulders, massive pecs, and the ever elusive diamond calves. Okay, we're gonna talk about jerks today. Mike, take it away.
All right, we're gonna talk about improving your jerk. If you can clean more than you can jerk, then this is definitely for you, all right? We're gonna start off with behind the neck jerks. Well, there's two things we're gonna talk about. Two things we're working on. One is getting in a really ideal position overhead, and the other is talking about getting in a heavier load than what you can normally jerk overhead. To kind of train the nervous system. So we're going to do two drills that really work that. The first is behind the neck jerk. First, before you do a behind the neck jerk, it would be good to master the behind the neck. Yeah, that was totally proper. Behind the neck push press. That's usually what I do if I'm having to get a bar behind my neck during a CrossFit walk. So from here, you want to practice your push press first. It's the same thing as your push press normally, but the bar's starting on the back of your shoulders. You're gonna dip and drive, lock it out. Note that position overhead. It might feel different than your normal push press or jerk. You may find that it's a little bit farther behind you. The bar should be over the back of your neck. If it's not there normally, you're probably losing the weight forward anytime it gets heavy. So once you master the push press overhead, you can move to the behind the neck jerk. So from here, same thing, we're gonna dip and drive. Take a step out and recover. Again, note where you end up overhead. All right. What's really good about this is that you're gonna be able to do 5 to 10% more weight on behind the neck jerk versus a jerk. So you'll be able to get used to being under heavier loads overhead. The other thing is you'll be in a better position. So if it doesn't feel like that when you do a traditional rack jerk from the front, when you get overhead, it probably means you're forward, okay? You need to work on driving that bar more towards you and not dipping forward during your dip. All right, the second drill we're gonna work on is the lockout plus recovery. So with this one, you wanna find a rack like this. This is pretty ideal. Most CrossFit gyms are not gonna have this rack, and that's okay. Next time you're traveling and you have to drop into that Globo gym, and they have something like this, you can be even weirder than normal. So, one thing you're gonna do is make sure this bar is about here on your head. You are gonna grip how you would normally grip when you do a jerk, and you pull this bar underneath, and this can be done with a pretty heavy load. Start light and practice. Then I'm gonna put my feet out where I know they're supposed to be for a jerk. So my knee is above my ankle, slightly behind. My rear foot is heels up the ground and turned in slightly. I'm gonna lock it in nice and tight here. So I've got ideal overhead position. And from here, I'm gonna recover. So what I'm gonna do first is extend my knees and come up nice and tall here. Then I'm gonna start with my front foot, bring my rear foot in, and finish with my front foot. Perfect opportunity to practice your foot positioning during your recovery, all right? So I'll demo one more time. I'm gonna step underneath, ideal position overhead, shoulders locked in nice and tight, I'm reaching, foot is out in front. I'm gonna get here, I'm gonna extend up with my legs, take a step in, and finish my recovery here. You may find that at first, that you can't do as much weight on this as you can during your normal jerk, but eventually you'll work up to something even heavier than what you can normally jerk. A lot of it just takes practice, and then you'll get there. The other thing, the last thing you can do is just the lockout, where you don't have to worry about your footwork. So if you feel like your footwork's really good, and the thing that's limiting you is just being used to being under a really heavy load, you can set the pins even higher, and what you would do is only give yourself an inch or two, and you would basically get under it and then stand up from here. So you'd only be locking it out holding a really heavy load. You could put over 100 pounds heavier than normal for a jerk. And that way, when you do go to jerk close to your PR, it'll feel a lot lighter. That's about it, guys. Don't forget to submit your questions on the blog. You can click the contact us button and shoot us some feedback. Chris just hit his, cameraman just hit his head on the barbell. Shoot us some feedback, let us know what kind of information you want to know more about, and don't forget to leave comments. If you have any questions about what I just went over just now, leave a comment. I'll see y'all next week.